Hello everyone, welcome to today's edition of Religious Vocation Digest here on Cafdil TV. I am Sister Marian, your host. It's another Thursday evening and we have somebody here to share his vocation story with us. We are live on Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast, YouTube, Cafdil EDU. We take a break here.
Since time immemorial, God has always communicated himself and his will through various voices, the prophets, the kings, the judges, not forgetting John the Baptist, who was a precursor to Jesus Christ and gave us the will of God. We bring to you Voices from the Valley. This is a program designed by the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Ghana in collaboration with Cafdil TV to bring you in-depth insight in our faith, catechesis, and various Catholic teachings which will help you in your journey as a pilgrim. I know you cannot miss this program, and I highly encourage you that you shouldn't miss this program because it is Voices of God from the Valley of Prayer and Silence. Join us this and every Sunday at 3 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here on Cafdil TV and on our various social media platforms, YouTube, Cafdil EDU, and Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast. Let us meet and share what God has for us through the Voices from the Valley.
Make me a means of your peace.
Welcome back. This is Religious Vocation Digest on Cafdil TV. Today we are privileged to have a brother guest to share his vocation story with us. Do not change the channel, or if you are watching us on social media, do not skip. Join us to do this conversation together. You might be inspired somehow. Our guest for today is Brother Clenerius. I know you can see that I'm struggling to pronounce it, and even you, I know you are decoding how you could also pronounce it. So yes, today our guest for the evening is Brother Clenerius, a white brother. Is it a white father or a white brother?
Both.
Yes. So he's going to share his story with us. Good evening, brother, and welcome.
Good evening, sister, and you are welcome to our house here in Warren House.
Thank you, brother. In a priestly-dominated society, why did you choose to be a brother? Could have been a priest.
Well, I chose to be a brother for only one single thing.
Okay.
I asked myself, if Jesus Christ would come today, what would that Jesus Christ do in our mission today? There are many ministries which does not need sacramental life.
Okay.
Taking care of the sick, justice and peace, interreligious dialogue, mentioned there are so many. So I chose so that I can balance from the sacramental and other ministries which are equally important, which Jesus Christ would prefer to do today.
Yeah. So with the members of the society in Ghana, how many brothers?
In Ghana, Ghanaian brothers, there are many. We have about 5 brothers.
Okay.
One is treasurer in Burkina Faso. It's a provincial treasurer.
Okay.
We have one is also a treasurer in East Africa, Tanzania to be precise.
Okay.
We have somebody who is working with interreligious dialogue in North Africa. And we have another brother who is doing formation in Congo.
Okay.
And we have another one who is also doing social work in East Africa.
Okay.
And the last one is in Rome, working with the media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with those information, apart from the one you mentioned, across Africa, do you have young ones coming that want to be brothers?
Well, in terms of proportion for those who want to become priests, the brothers, they are just minute. They are very few. To give you an example, I am the first non-white brother,
Okay.
who is from Zambia.
Okay.
And precisely, Zambia received Catholicism earlier than Ghana.
Okay.
And to have the first one who is looking like me, it means it has taken too many years.
Yeah. Yeah. So why the name White Fathers?
The name is precisely because of the dressing. Okay. Our society was formed in North Africa,
okay,
in Islam-dominated countries.
Okay.
Therefore, at that time, the time of Ravijari, the priests used to move with cassocks in black. They were wearing black cassocks. Therefore, Ravijari opted to say, no, for the missions of Africa in particular, you will be wearing a white cassock as I am dressed. Therefore, the people, to distinguish between other priests and us, they nicknamed us as the White Fathers.
Okay, so it really came from the society.
The vestments.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the society in which you were working actually gave you the name White Fathers.
Yes. In
Hearing
fact,
it for the first time, one might think that you are all Europeans.
not really. Some people have interpreted it like that, but it is actually from the dressing.
Dressing.
Yes.
Okay. So now let's come to you. Tell us more about yourself.
My name is Clenerius Mutale Chimpali. As I mentioned earlier on, I am a Zambian. I am a brother in the Society of the Missionaries of Africa.
Okay.
Let me add one element. I am a happy brother in the Society of the Missionaries of Africa. I became a brother, a full-fledged brother, in 2004.
Okay.
And my first mission was in Ghana, in Bumpurugu.
Okay.
I stayed there for 2 years. Then I was transferred to Savarugu,
Okay.
Where I worked with the youth, interreligious dialogue, and Just and Peace. I was transferred briefly to Tamale, in fact, in this house, Moraine House, where I was helping out Vocation and Mission, alongside with my main work, which was Just and Peace, Encounter and Dialogue, and also what we call family ministry.
Okay.
Shortly after, when the Archbishop and our superior thought it fitting, I was for 1 year and a half taken to Nyampala, St. Monica's Parish,
Okay.
as a parish administrator. Because of circumstantial, our brothers got sick,
Okay.
and all they were taken out of Ghana, leaving a stagiaire who is a student on pastoral training alone. I am from a very Catholic family. My brother is a Diocesan priest. My sister attempted to become a reverend sister. Unfortunately, she did not, and she died at the early stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
May God rest her soul.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that is what I may say in brief.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which means that after your final profession, you've ministered most of your years in Ghana.
Yes. In fact, I don't call it after my final profession.
Okay.
Because our system, we do not have what I call vows or oath in installment.
Okay.
Once you have the oath, it is
Good to
final.
go. Okay.
There are few who had temporary oath, but they are quite few
Okay.
for circumstantial reasons.
Okay.
But all my time have been in Ghana. But for 8 years, I was sent back home in the novitiate to teach, and I was a bursar and a few other formation work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you throw more light on the family ministry and then peace and justice ministry?
Yes.
What were you doing exactly?
I will start with the family ministry.
Okay.
The family ministry comprises organizing what I call missionaries, lay missionaries with the missionaries of Africa. Okay. Those who are attracted to live the spirituality of the missionaries of Africa. That is comprises with the family members of confreres who are from Ghana and the other people who are attracted.
Okay.
What does it entail? It entails to animate, to give them what we believe. For family members of confreres, also since they are family members, they are far working in other countries, to visit them regularly so that we update them.
Okay.
To foster what we call a family spirit.
Okay.
We are all together La Vigari family.
Okay.
Brothers, priests, and lay La Vigarian family.
Okay.
That is all I can say in brief
For the
regarding the
ministry.
family.
Okay. And then peace and justice.
Peace and justice, that is the core of my work, which I'm very passionate. If you allow me to speak, I can speak the whole day.
You have the whole day.
Peace and justice, we as missionaries of Africa, we have prioritized the work of peace and justice. In fact, it is not only peace and justice, we call it peace and justice, integrity of creation, and encounter and dialogue. They work together.
Okay.
Our society was precisely formed because of peace and justice and encounter and dialogue.
Okay.
It may be interesting to know that La Vigari, before he formed the Society of the Missions of Africa, he visited Syria, where he had contact with Islam. And one of the people who inspired La Vigari is a Muslim, Cafdil, who was serving the Christians who were persecuted at that time in Syria, and he was housing them in their house.
Okay.
So to go and thank him for the good work he was doing to save the Christian, he was inspired that, in fact, we are one people. So it is a ministry by itself to foster collaboration and oneness. May they be one. That was the primary attraction of La Vigari. And he was also in an organization which is like Caritas today, which was helping the poor and the other people.
Okay.
So that touched his heart very much. In addition, he was in contact with other giants like Komboni and other people who believed in the same virtue. Now to come back home, that is for a Vigari time. We believe that without that ministry, our ministry is not complete. Wherever we go, one of the major primary apostolate, apart from many others, is justice and peace. Therefore, each province, we have a team, which we call a team of justice and peace, integrity of creation, and encounter and dialogue. What is the team? What is the role of that team? It is to encourage first of all our own confreres that this ministry it is not just by the way. It is the core ministry of our mission. Our mission to complete, we should all be involved in that. Not only that, among the team members, there is somebody who is a little bit like full-time. For now, I happen to be the one.
Okay.
To see beyond what we see. We separate two things. There is charity, which is very good for the Vincent de Paul and others.
Okay.
And there is a group of people who study and see things in a different way and question, why are the people poor? Why do the things be what they are? We start from where the Vincent de Paul and many other people do, which is charity, which is very simple. We ask questions, and answering those questions is what we call justice and peace.
Okay. Yeah.
It is many things are involved because it's a wider subject. Therefore, every year or every few years, we prioritize ourselves with few aspects within our capacity.
Okay.
That is about justice and peace. As I said, it is a wider subject.
Yeah.
I can go on and on and on happily talking about justice and peace because that touches my passion.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's you're doing a great job.
Well, by the grace of God, we think so.
Yeah. So how did you discern your vocation with the White Fathers? How did you come in touch with them?
It is quite an interesting story. Mm-hmm. I was born in the first mission of the White Fathers. And at that time, I never thought that I can join them, though I had in contact with them. Surprisingly, when I went where the White Fathers are not even, it is when I became a little bit serious to know more about the White Fathers by accident. I had a friend who wanted to join the White Fathers who knew them a little bit.
Okay.
And he asked me to accompany him to go and see the vocation director. And when I accompanied, they had an encounter, a conversation, which they went in the office. I remained at the living room, enjoying the groundnuts. And at the tables at that time, there were magazines which were talking about White Fathers, many. So I started reading. So it is by reading, I even knew that there are White Fathers we have come to.
Yeah.
Me, I just escorted my friend. That was my first contact, which was a little bit serious. When the vocation director came, I asked him a number of questions, which made him to think that you are asking too much. Therefore, if you want your questions to be answered, your friend is coming to come and see, so you are welcome to come for a week. You will discover more about us. That was the beginning of my journey.
So the groundnuts led you to discover more about the White Fathers?
Yes. So it's simple like that.
I now understand why in every community of the White Fathers, there is a groundnut available.
Yeah, well, it brings vocation.
You are not far from the truth, indeed. Yeah, it brings vocation. Yes. So after that, what happened? You followed your friend for the come and see?
I followed my friend for the come and see, and they asked her to apply. I was a bit reluctant to apply, and I did not actually apply. Okay. But I registered my name that, anyway, I'm interested to know a little bit more. So they invited me again. I went the second and the third time. I finished my secondary school, and they asked me if I'm interested to start. He recommended to go to what we call pre-first cycle.
Okay.
At that time, I was not ready, so I said I've just got my admission to the university, I would like to study electrical engineering. And actually, I went to study electrical engineering.
Okay.
They said that does not conflict what we are looking for. So if you want, you can go. And I was allowed. I went, I finished. But I was in touch. From time to time, they'll visit me and they'll invite me for a few days,
Okay.
like that. When I finished, I started working. Luckily, I was working to the very good company, which is equivalent in Ghana with the company which provides the electricity.
Oh, okay.
And at that time, I think even today, it is the most well-paid company.
Okay.
And it was a temptation not to join.
Oh, so you
Because-
forgot the taste of the groundnut.
The taste of the groundnuts, my salary could buy bags of those groundnuts.
Yeah. So how did you finally decide to?
Yeah, I keep on in touch until I started working. When I was working, I actually wanted to change the company to another company.
Okay.
And I was accepted to change. The company I applied and they accepted me. So that process of changing, I asked the company that there are a few things I would like to study before I start working with you. So they said, oh, there's no problem. Even my former company, which is called Zesco, they also said, if it is the question of study leave or what, just apply for it, we'll give you. So they gave me 2 years
Okay.
study leave. And that 2 years, I joined the White Fathers.
Wow.
So I was in formation for the company at that time. It was, they said, you are welcome anytime you wish within the 2 years. It was a window period, which I was free to go back or not to go back. And I went to Jinja for my philosophy for 3 years. After 3 years, my window period was over. I went for the novitiate in Kaangara in Tanzania, where we enjoyed very much. And after, I was miraculously appointed to Ghana, where I didn't expect. And I happened to be here in Tamale, in Nyampala.
Okay.
And I had a very good time in Nyampala with my brothers who are priests. 3, they are from Europe and 1 from Africa. And I was the 3rd as a student.
Okay.
After, I went to Nairobi for theology.
Okay.
During my time, there was no difference between the brother candidates and those to become priests.
Priest.
We were more or less obliged to study exactly what the priests were studying.
Okay.
So in Nairobi, I studied the theology like anybody else for 2 years. In the 3rd year, I said, why can't I cross instead of going with the theology stream to go to social ministry? For those who know Tangaza, Tangaza has many courses. So it is like a buffet. So they allowed me to say, you should finish all what requires somebody to become a priest. And in addition, you can go to social ministry. That is what I did.
Yeah.
And in fact, the question you asked me earlier on, it is where the appetite of
The groundnut.
just and peace was quite more grounded.
Okay.
It is when I was studying social ministry.
Okay.
Because the courses of Justice and Peace, they were quite numerous.
Okay. So abandoning your job,
I didn't abandon it, I just
your
stopped.
well-paid job,
I didn't
stopped.
abandon.
you never went back.
No, I never went back.
Exactly.
Oh, in holidays, we had the 3 months holidays. I'll go, but it was like piecework. It was like a contract. I work, they pay me, I go back. Because I didn't have a sponsor to give me pocket money. So I was making my own pocket money. And working before, I was a little bit more comfortable financially
Okay.
than my colleagues.
Okay.
Yes.
So finally, when the company realized that you're not coming back, you're now a brother, did you hear from them? And
I informed them myself.
Okay.
I said, now at this stage, I don't think I'll come back to your company. And I wrote a letter to them. They were very happy. And
that you want to be a brother.
they were very happy that I respected them.
Okay.
I followed what we agreed.
Okay.
And they have remained friends. Some of the workers there, they are my good friends.
Okay.
Yes. Though we rarely meet.
Okay.
Yes.
And from the side of your family?
From the side of my family, as I say, I'm from a very religious family. To become a brother or a priest, that was not an issue.
Okay.
The reluctance was precisely the vocation of the brother. They did not understand it at
Okay.
all.
Yeah.
As I said, there are very few brothers. Even in the missions of Africa, according to the people in Zambia, I am the first white father brother. But it is not true. There is somebody who became a brother with a temporary oath.
Okay.
Then he refused to renew after some few years,
Okay.
and he did not have a permanent.
Okay.
I am the first missionary of Africa brother with a permanent or a perpetual oath
Okay.
in Zambia.
Okay.
But there was somebody who was with the temporary before me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Experiencing community life for the first time.
For the first time,
Yeah.
they are in different episodes.
Okay.
There are community life which we call information, which is you are many. You can survive very well because out of 40, out of 30, we are always in big groups. You find your way out, and it was lovely.
Okay.
It was my first time to move out of Zambia, to go elsewhere in Uganda, and to live with other people from different countries.
Okay.
I cherished that very much. It was lovely. I learned a number of things, and it reduced some of the prejudices. In fact, it was more positive than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see.
A little bit difficult with food and a few things which I needed to adapt. But after, I developed what I call a missionary stomach, where I eat anything which is on the table.
It's very necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, so community life as a student and community life as you're experiencing today, is there any different?
Yes, there is a big difference.
Okay.
As a student, we are many. You can find your way easily.
Yeah.
But if you are 2, 3, it is not the same. For example, when I came for my first time as a student in Nyampara, I was living with a French, Irish, and a Congolese, all with a different way of viewing the reality.
Yeah.
And I had now, it was me to find my way out, to see how I can fit. But luckily, call it stubbornness or flexibility, I managed very well. And at the end of the day, that was the best community I refer to. They were very open, frank, even if some of the certain things I did not agree with them, but at least I knew what they were thinking.
Okay.
And I can speak, and they could also know my point of view.
Okay.
There is one thing I cherished most, which is in most of our communities. We always had the community meeting on the weekly basis. 1 week is the community affairs. The following week is the apostolate affairs, which was chaired by the parish priest.
Okay.
The community affairs by the spirit of the house.
Okay.
Whether you have points on the agenda or not, we will sit. It is the time for the meeting. and they will say, do you have anything for the agenda? No. If another one say no, all of us will say no. It means the meeting is over. We have to have the closing prayer, and you cannot just go like that. We open a fridge and some groundnuts, and we start sharing our stories. But that created always a room, if there is anything to be discussed, than to make a close.
Yeah.
It gave an opportunity for anybody who has anything to talk about, to talk about. And most of the time we had something. A few times, as I said, we start opening prayer and closing prayer, but there were very few times really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what can you say about community life today?
Community
Has
life.
it changed from maybe 20 years before?
Well, I am over 20 years in the mission, and the community life has changed slightly, but with the same rhythm. But for us, we have to go and knock to your brother to say, oh, can I talk to you? But you can communicate on the phone. He's in his room and I'm in my room. You have a community WhatsApp where you communicate so many things. The interaction, physical interaction has reduced.
Yeah.
And life has changed a little bit with time, in the sense that what we used to cherish at that time, we used to have each community with a diary. It was a joyful time in the evening to go and write something in the diary. As I'm speaking today, we don't have anything in our community, which makes the history to die. For those who come tomorrow, I write. I have journal, but I write in my laptop, and I will put a password. When I die with it, because there is a password. And the first thing the provincial will do is to clean my computer before anything else, allowing anybody to touch it. So that is one of the differences. But in terms of prayer life, we still maintain the same. We have prayer life in the morning, in the evening, and we have monthly recollections. We have recreation from time to time, and we have left aside some social times when we can go out and have fresh air around the dead guinea fowl, which is also roasted. And not only that, we share many things about, they know many things about Zambia, because I am a Zambian. And they know many things about Burundi, because one of the community members is a Burundian. And that makes our community to be lively, and to reach Burkina, to reach Burundi without being there, because we know a lot of things about Burkina and with Burundi, because we share a lot. Those we have maintained.
Do you agree to the fact that consecrated life is no more attractive today?
Yes, and not.
Okay.
It depends. If you say the vocation of brotherhood is not attracted today, I will say a big yes, because there are very few people who are coming as brothers. But if you talk about sisters, depending to the areas, some areas they have many vocations, others they don't have many vocations. I was quite touched when you enter in the town of Nairobi in Kenya. It is like everybody wants to become a sister, because there are hundreds of uniforms of sisters, hundreds of names of sisters, and you cannot move 200 meters without seeing a sister passing. So I can presume that it is because they are vocations of sisters. Same even here. If you go to places like Jirapa, this in the Upper West, they have vocations. But if you come to the Dagbo land, you go to where I worked in the Bimowa land, There you may say there is a little bit a challenge in terms of vocation. So it is not a universal, it is according to the particular area.
Okay. Yeah. But then some also believe that there is something that scares the youth of today away from consecrated life.
Well, that is what they believe. But in my personal opinion, there is nothing which scares them, but like it is now in consecrated life, modernity has twisted so many things.
Yeah.
Consumerism, when you talk about poverty, who is that in the right reasoning will be attracted to be poor when the world is saying the more you have things, the better? So, in a way, in terms of ideologies, there are few who do not feel that they can go to school, and you know that we demand high grades. Yeah. You have all that grades to go to the university in order to be poor. In that sense, yes. But in the other sense is that there are some people who just admire sister passing, or I'm just passing with my gandula. Our dressing, we call it gandula, okay. Our vestment. And from nowhere, you hear somebody pulling you behind. Hey, I saw your picture in the gandula. It attracted me. How can I be like you? There are few who come like that. As we said at the beginning, we cannot compare with the other vocation of marriage life. So young people, they are not as such running away from consecrated life, but they are more prone to be attracted to consumerism. So it is the way of explaining to the young people, boys and girls, how they can balance the two.
Yeah. Yeah. You were a formator.
Yes, surely.
Yes. From the years that you were with the young ones, forming them.
Yes.
What did you see that was not there during your time as a formatee yourself?
What I saw, there were a little bit more flexibility in terms of rules than before. That was quite clear. And the other things were the same. I was in the novitiate. Okay. And for us, the novitiate is the core of all the formation stages. Okay. And as a formator, we have three major things which we look at. One, we are sent to advertise and infuse the virtue of the congregation, what we believe in, what we stand for. The core of our congregation, that should be spelled very well. That is one. Okay. The second, we are sent to individuals, not a group, individuals. Each person comes from the house, different families, different countries, as individuals, and to listen to them as individuals. In other words, our role was to listen until we cannot listen anymore. Okay. And we take each individual where he is to accompany him to our virtue, respecting his backgrounds and trying to infuse what we believe in. Lastly, they are also come as a group. We view them as a group of students whom we should involve also in making certain rules At the beginning of every formation house,
Okay.
we start making our own objectives. The first orientation days is to make the objectives. What are the means to reach these objectives, and why are we reaching these objectives? And we view them as a group, and they work into group work. That is the beginning of what we call community life. Even in the formation, even if we may be many, we are in cells, which we call teams, or call it small families.
Okay.
Yes. Those are the certain things which I may share regarding the formation.
Okay.
You should bear in mind that we are from the background of the Ignatian spirituality. Our society, the first formators were Jesuits.
Okay.
So we have borrowed so many things about the Jesuits. And if you know a little bit about the novitiate of the Jesuits, it is a little bit mathematical. The principles and foundation, week 1, week 2, week 3, everything is well spirited.
Yeah.
So we are inclined, we are closer to the Jesuits in many things, in terms of the spirituality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Growing up, though you've had a contact with the white fathers, did you at any point consider married life?
Well, I was a little bit young to be thinking of marriage life.
Okay.
As you ask me the earlier question, our time and today's time, the challenges, they are different.
Okay.
Today, people in secondary school, even in primary school, they start thinking about girlfriend, boyfriend. Our time, it was not.
Okay.
Even the time people would think in that line, it is not something serious. You find a boy pointing at a girl that this is my girlfriend. They have never discussed, they have never talked. And she is even afraid that if she hears fire. So I lived the time when the things you are asking me today were not a factor.
Okay.
Not because I have to be a religious life or not. It was not fashionable at that time.
Yeah.
We had many other things which were fashionable.
Yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that you were a happy brother.
Very. That
Yes.
one, you should insist on.
So what's your secret?
My secret? Yeah, my secret, there are so many things. One, as a brother, I feel so free. When my brother priests, they are going for the confession box and a few other things, I'll call the provincial to propose so many things I can do. And I am a free being, and it enables me to do my passionate ministry. There is no happiness in the vacuum.
Yeah.
The happiness comes from the people we serve and our ministry. So I am a happy brother because of the ministry, which opens me to see so many realities. Most of the time when I am with my colleagues at the table, I give them stories of what I have discovered, which in a true sense they cannot discover because they don't have too much time like mine. Me, I go far and wide. I research far and wide because I have time.
Yeah.
That makes me a happy brother.
Okay.
Not only that, I am a happy brother that is a little bit external to be here in Ghana. Ghana has a good record of producing many brothers from Ghana, as well as many brothers who were working in Ghana. It was the province in African continent which had many brothers working in the province and many brothers from the province. I have not followed the statistic, But I can convincingly say, up to today, the brothers who are from Ghana, they are more than any other African country. And of course, seeing their great works makes me happy and it inspires me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then, in as much as you are very happy about your ministry and a happy brother, at certain point in time, you might have experienced some challenges as a brother.
As a missionary, not as a brother.
As a missionary.
As a missionary, yes. Sometimes I would like to stay in some places longer than ever. And the second, I never dreamed that at one time I would be in formation. So being in formation also entails that you have to evaluate, you have to recommend, you have to do other things. And sometimes you have sleepless nights because we are not God. Sometimes you sit, you say, God, I came to do your will. Let your will be done. And sometimes your colleagues may not see what you are saying and what they are reasoning. And that is energy draining. That I find when I was in formation, especially 1 year, it was quite energy draining. That I started asking so many questions. Okay. But in the field like this, I have never had any precise challenge apart from what I would call family issues. I mean biological family issues. Okay. When my mother died, and I was here in Ghana, it was not an attractive thing. I had to go like, I don't know how I moved and how I reached. Anyway, I reached there before Barrio. And that one also sometimes brought some questions to say, this one, I didn't anticipate that I would feel like this. Yeah. But in all, 98%, I don't have anything to complain. I have always been in very good communities, by the way.
Okay.
And always happy. And the formation house, it was very good, except 1 year, which I started questioning a number of things. But it is a part of growth. After that year, I learned so many things. My smile became bigger than before. And I'm still remembering those days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to hear. You are watching Religious Vocation Digest on Cafdil TV, and we're having a conversation with a white father, Brother Clenerius, or Clenelia. We'll be right back.
Since time immemorial, God has always communicated himself and his will through various voices, the prophets, the kings, the judges, not forgetting John the Baptist, who was a precursor to Jesus Christ and gave us the will of God. We bring to you Voices from the Valley. This is a program designed by the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Ghana in collaboration with Cafdil TV to bring you in-depth insight in our faith, catechesis, and various Catholic teachings which will help you in your journey as a pilgrim. I know you cannot miss this program, and I highly encourage you that you shouldn't miss this program because it is Voices of God from the valley of prayer and silence. Join us this and every Sunday at 3 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here on Cafdil TV and on our various social media platforms, YouTube, Cafdil EDU, and Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast. Let us meet and share what God has for us through the Voices from the Valley.
Make me a means of your peace.
You're welcome back from the short break. We continue with our discussion with Brother. Brother, let's now do the history of the White Fathers or the Society of the Missionaries of Africa. How did it all begin?
Well, it all began with a man called Charles Lavigerie.
Okay.
He's a French from Bayonne. Okay. He was quite interested into social work, and he was an historian. So he knew a lot of things, and he heard of Africa. And he had contact with people who were dreaming for the continent of Africa. Okay. Comboni was among, and not only that, through his organization, which was doing social work, he met many people in Syria and elsewhere. He was campaigning for the charity donation to give the poor in Syria and elsewhere. Okay. Therefore, his vocation was born from his experience of working for the poor and being near to the poor. More to it is his contact with the Islam through Cafdil, whom I mentioned that he was helping the Christian and he didn't mind the religion or whatsoever. And he thought so that it is the right thing to do because we are all human beings. Okay. We all need the same things. We need one another. Okay. So it is how he started contemplating about Africa, not the congregation, that is about Africa. We are taught, and we believe so, that when he was meditating at the grave of Martin of Tours, that is why you would find some of our institutions are named after Martin of Tours. Okay. He had a kind of a vision, call it a dream, about the African continent, and shortly after, whether it was coincidentally or providentially, that one I don't know, it is when he got his appointment as the bishop in North Africa, Algiers at that time. Okay. And he was very happy to be appointed to the continent of Africa. But even before going to Africa, he was once before he came to Algiers, became a bishop in France for a short period of time, which shifting to Algiers was a kind of a demotion because the Algiers, nobody knew Algiers, and it was a small diocese with no Christians at all. So for him it was a challenge, but he saw it as an open door to come to Africa. That is how all started. When he reached North Africa, there were many challenges. And one of the challenges is how he could treat a human being without looking at religion, which we call encounter and dialogue, and save the people. Therefore, he started with the same usual way with charity work. Orphanage, opened orphanage, some schools, and some few things which were putting people together. For example, health facilities. There is no paracetamol for Catholics and non-Catholics, or Muslim and what. All we use the same paracetamol. So if he thought it is wise to have institutions which do not segregate people. Yeah. And in order to make his vision be a reality, it is when he thought of starting the Missionaries of Africa, which later was nicknamed White Fathers. In 1868, it is when he went to the Jesuits he requested that he would like to help him to form the Apostles for Africa.
Okay.
And the Jesuits referred him to their novitiate, where the rector was Father Eugene, who welcomed the idea, and he said, but how are you going to start recruiting? So he said, I will think about it. But on those days, they used to have what they call conference. Every Friday, they used to have what they call conference. The rector has to give a kind of catechesis. So one Friday, he talks about Africa and missionary for Africa. And at the end of his conference, he asked the seminarians, he said, I have talked about Africa. Among you, who can voluntarily and happily have a challenge to be a missionary for Africa? It is how 7 people discreetly went to the rector and whispered that, Father Rector, we are happy to have that challenge. It is how it all started, with 7 people. The Lavijari, since he was a bishop, he welcomed them. They were trained like Jesuits. But Lavijari himself used to go to give them the talks about missionary and the challenges of missionary. He was using the knowledge of being an historian. Lavijari was an historian, a very good historian, to help them to see the challenge ahead of them. And one of the challenges was telling them, it is not an easy road, it is visa for martyrdom. The only way you can survive, you should be united. It is where is stressed the community aspect. Always, your community should have 3 or more.
Okay.
Seldom situational 2, but never 1. Because he saw the importance of the spirit, the core, the oneness, the spirit of oneness. He said it is the only way you can survive the harshness of Africa, as they used to call it in those days.
Okay.
So that is how all began.
Okay. So when and how did you come to Ghana?
Myself.
As a missionary? No, I mean the congregation.
If we come to Ghana,
yes,
we came in 1906 in Avrongo.
okay.
The 4 missionaries who came from Burkina wanted to expand their mission. And you know, Navrongo, it is closer to Burkina, and they share some few similarities.
Yeah.
So it is how they came to Navrongo to mount their mission. That is in 1906. There were 3 priests and a brother. 2 Canadian, 1 German, and the other one, he came from, I think, Netherlands.
Okay.
Yes.
So globally, how old is the society?
Globally,
Yeah.
it is over 150 years.
Okay.
I cannot give you the precision, but we have celebrated 150 a few years ago.
Okay. I hear of your bicentenary celebration. What is it about?
Bicentenary is about the birth of Lavijari.
Okay.
Yes, it is in October becoming 200 years.
Okay.
That is the bicentenary we are talking about.
Okay. He was born in October.
Yes.
And Daniel Komboni was also born in October.
Ah, that one I didn't know. This is
Yes.
news.
That is 10th October.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the activities being put in place for the celebration?
The activities we are trying to relieve the vision of La Vigerie. We are stressing the core of La Vigerie. And as I mentioned earlier on, one of the core of his vision is justice and peace.
Okay.
He was a champion. Wherever you Google La Vigerie, what you see most is that he was a champion of fighting slavery. He went far and wide campaigning against slavery.
Okay.
Even when the Pope wanted to write an encyclical that slavery is abolished, he said, no, that one will not catch the global situation. In Africa, rather, slavery has just started. Yeah. For example, I was born in Kayambi Mission in Zambia. And the first thing you see is the orphans with horse, where the missionaries of Africa, at that time they had guns to protect those they were buying for slaves. And buying some of them. Okay. They bought a number of them to remove them from the slave masters. And anything which, according to him, he said, anything which is injustice, revolt my heart. Anything which touches another human being which is unjust, I do not digest it. So, bicentenary, we are stressing that. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a big celebration at our parish, Pit and Paul, inviting so many people to educate them on the modern slavery. Okay. We gave them the real reality of modern slavery and the actual stories. It was a kind of a prayer service, and to pray for those who are hooked in the modern slavery, as well as alerting those who may fall under the same trap. Okay. That is one of our activities. Okay. Second, we are revisiting the spirituality of La Vigerie through the family ministry. The family ministry, I called it La Vigerie family, which also comprises of the lay missionaries. The lay missionaries, sometimes they call them Friends of the Missionaries of Africa, who try to live the spirituality of the missionaries of Africa. We are strengthening that aspect. Because La Vigerie himself, he said, at last, the people themselves will be the evangelizers of themselves. Okay. That is one aspect we are trying to. The other aspect we are revisiting is the issue of encounter and dialogue. We are in the society where divisions, conflicts are between tribes, religion, and a few other things. So we are revisiting that apostolate, how we can do it a little bit better. Okay. Again, a few weeks ago, I had myself a training session in trying to equip some of our brothers in the areas of interreligious dialogue as well as justice and peace. There are others. You should bear in mind that our congregation, we have the same founder with the white sisters, as they used to call them. Also, it is a nickname. They call them Msola. Okay. Missionaries of Our Lady of Africa. Okay. So we have the same. So they also have the similar activities because we are celebrating the same bicentenary together. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, brother. Before we conclude on our conversation for the night, what will be your final words for our cherished viewers?
Oh, the final words is that we are missionaries of Africa who, in a way, have what we call 7 major objectives. And among the main major objectives is 1, primary evangelization. Second, just and peace, care for creation and encounter and dialogue. 3, it is the formation. Our founder said, at long last, the people themselves, they will be evangelizers of themselves. So that is our priority for us. Number 4, it is the formation. We cannot survive without giving a quality formation. So they invest in terms of personnel, financial, in order to produce a good formation, solid formation to our brothers who want to join us. Number 6, it is our objective to live the virtue of la vigerie in terms of being in communities, not only in communities, to work as a team, not in isolation. Because if I die today, another person will know precisely what I was doing and will fit in easily because I share and I don't work in isolation and I work with others. So it is our priority to make sure that we make a very solid teamwork, which is evangelical. And I think it is the last, it is prayer life. It is not optional. Prayer life for us, like many other congregations, is a priority, it's an objective. It is not optional. That is why the idea of the missions of Africa, we are supposed to have common prayers together, possibly monthly correction together. In a yearly basis, the province should organize what we call provincial retreat together. Sometimes we call them sector retreat because the province, our province is comprises of Ghana and Nigeria. Therefore, sometimes they can organize one in Nigeria, one this side. From time to time, it is provincial. So those are the few things I would say as final remarks. Okay. I'm very happy to be given this opportunity to talk to you, to talk to our society, which I love so much, especially as a brother, a happy brother, who is always happy to be in the God's vineyard. Thank you so much.
We are grateful to you, brother, for your time and sharing. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
And we hope to have you another time on this same platform.
Okay, I'm always available.
Good. And to you viewers out there, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to you for joining us to do this conversation together. This has been Religious Vocation Digest. The Brotherhood Vocation in Ghana, as I've been mentioning, is not that encouraging. But then, once in a while, we have a brother to come and then share his experience with us. Therefore, we need more young men into the Brotherhood Vocation. If you want to join the White Fathers, the number is on the screen. Their email address, including their website, is also there. Try to contact them, and then the Vocations promoter will be glad to hear from you. This has been Religious Vocation Digest. We are still in the Jubilee year, and for us in the Catholic Archdiocese of Cape Coast, it's a Jubilee year because the Archdiocese is celebrating 75 years. When you say a prayer, remember to say one for us also. So we meet again next week. Enjoy your evening.
Since time immemorial, God has always communicated himself and his will through various voices, the prophets, the kings, the judges, not forgetting John the Baptist, who was a precursor to Jesus Christ and gave us the will of God. We bring to you Voices from the Valley. This is a program designed by the Conventual Franciscan Friars in Ghana in collaboration with Cafdil TV to bring you in-depth insight in our faith, catechesis, and various Catholic teachings which will help you in your journey as a pilgrim. I know you cannot miss this program, and I highly encourage you that you shouldn't miss this program because it is Voices of God from the valley of prayer and silence. Join us this and every Sunday at 3 p.m. and a repeat on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. here on Cafdil TV and on our various social media platforms, YouTube, Cafdil EDU, and Facebook, Cafdil Cape Coast. Let us meet and share what God has for us through the Voices from the Valley.
Make me a means of your peace.